Mountain biking can look intimidating, and if you've never done it before, it can feel almost impossible to get started. The bikes look complicated and expensive, and you might feel like you don't have the right clothes or the right gear. And you're worried that you don't live next to gnarly trails with monster features. The good news is, none of that actually matters. Mountain biking is for everyone, and I promise you can do it. You just need 3 things, and they're more accessible than you think. The right bike, the right trail, and most of all, the right attitude. Before we get too far, the first thing we need to do is figure out what mountain biking is. Maybe that sounds silly, but when you get started, the language of this industry can be really confusing. All you want to do is go mountain biking, but you've heard about gravel riding, cross-country, enduro, trail, all mountain, and as far as you know, there are no mountains anywhere near you. On top of that, there are tons of different types of mountain bikes, like hardtails, full suspension, downhill, and enduro bikes. It's distracting and overwhelming. So let's simplify it. Who cares which exact type of ride you are on? It's not that those ride categories can't be helpful, it's just that at first, the jargon shouldn't distract you from having fun. To me, there are basically 2 types of riding, road and off-road. Off-road riding doesn't have to mean big jumps or steep descents. Whether it's finding a rough bridleway or discovering some gentle single track through a forest, what matters is how much fun you are having. Who cares what it's called? And this isn't just my opinion. I think it's a useful mindset for getting started. Because if you aren't worried about defining the ride exactly, you also don't have to worry too much about things like hydraulic brakes or full suspension or the amount of travel your fork has. You just need to think about 3 things.
Hey, I'm out here on the trail and I just want to talk to you a little bit about what bike I think you should bring out to get started on mountain biking. And it's not as intimidating as you'd think. So let's check out a good example of what works just to get you started, and let's go from there. So viewers of my channel will recognize this one. It's the Muddy Fox Courier Comp. Here's what I think you need. I think you need tires with enough volume to keep you comfortable on the trail. These are 2.1 inch thick tires. Anything above 2 is going to be great. You definitely need some brakes that you trust. So I have these Dior levers and Shimano V-brakes there that it took me a long time to learn how to tune up and get them right, but they're perfect for this kind of cross-country trail riding on trails that look like that. I do think you need some bars that are a little more aggressive than this, but it's actually a good example to have this bike out here today to show you you don't need the fanciest carbon riser bar out there to go get started on mountain biking. I originally built this bike to be a sort of cruiser, pub cruiser thing, and I haven't changed the bars yet, and here I am mountain biking. It's fine. You definitely want a comfy saddle. It doesn't need to be an expensive saddle. You can find a nice 20-30 pound saddle that fits your sitting position and you'll be good to go. And lastly, you probably do want a good gear range to get out here because you are going to get stuck on obstacles, on roots, on rocks. And so this thing, you know, I think this is a 36 tooth chainring, and I think my biggest cog is 48, so under a 1-to-1 ratio for trails is great. And it's not fast, but it'll keep you moving on the trails. If you don't have a 10 speed, a 12 speed, whatever your friends do and they're telling you you need it, it doesn't matter. You have a 1x7 or some sort of complicated 3x7 system, just get out there on the trails. You'll enjoy it. You don't need to listen to the bike companies or have the latest tech. You don't need to get overwhelmed by whether it's a mountain bike, a cross-country bike, an enduro bike, an all-trail bike, an all-mountain bike, enduro bike. You just need a bike, and it has to have some basic stuff on it. Plump tires, nice brakes, a gear range that'll let you ride over roots and rocks. That's all you need to go have fun. You might already have that bike in your shed. If you don't have the perfect bike, but you feel safe enough on it, give it a shot. If you do need a bike, borrow someone's, go to Facebook Marketplace, go to eBay. You can find a bike for 50, 60, 70 quid. Make sure it's safe and get out here and have a blast. So let's go.
So you found a bike that will work off-road. Now it's time to find the right trail. The important thing is to find somewhere safe where you can have some fun and become comfortable riding on uneven surfaces. Your first trail doesn't need to be spectacular or challenging. Ideally, it should be fairly short, easy to navigate, and give you plenty of opportunities to stop, walk, or turn around if you need to. Here in England, finding somewhere like that is actually pretty easy. There are apps like Komoot that can help you plan routes in your area. You can also look for nearby gravel tracks and bridleways, then use a map to connect them into a route. Just make sure cycling is permitted before heading down an unfamiliar path. But you don't need to plan a huge adventure. You can literally leave your house, ride to the nearest gravel path or bridleway, and start exploring. There's a good chance you'll find something fun surprisingly close to home. You just need to look.
This is what I mean. I was just over on that gravel path. And here's some single track. Might not be the toughest, but all of a sudden, you're mountain biking. This is good.
Another easy way to get started is to visit a Forestry England center. If you've watched this channel before, you will have seen me riding at places like Thetford and Hicks Lodge. These trail centers are great for beginners for a couple reasons. First, many of them have bike hire facilities right on site, so even if you don't own a bike, problem solved. Second, the routes are normally well mapped and clearly marked, which removes a lot of the worry about getting lost or accidentally ending up somewhere you're not supposed to be. Third, they usually offer trails at different difficulty levels, including routes designed for beginners and families. After all, these places want people to come out and spend money at the bike hire, the cafe, and most importantly, the ice cream shop. They're not trying to terrify everybody within the first 5 minutes. Wherever you start riding, just take it easy, even if you suspect you could manage something harder. I've seen bad things happen on easy trails.
As much as people say this place is easy, I've seen 2 people eat it so far. One rather seriously, and his friends and him, his day is over. And another woman fell into a pit of thorns, and I had to help her get her bike out.
Trail ratings can vary wildly between locations, and conditions make a huge difference. A gentle trail on a dry summer day can feel completely different when it's covered in mud, wet roots, or loose leaves.
It's a little greasy, just a tad. Oh.
The right trail for you when you start out should give you enough challenge to experience mountain biking, but still leave you enough mental space to look ahead, experiment with different lines, and learn how to use your bike. And if the trail turns out to be harder than expected, or you're just not comfortable, there's absolutely nothing wrong with stopping, walking a section, or even turning around. This first ride isn't about proving that you can tackle everything, it's just about finishing the ride and wanting to do it again. So we have a capable bike, and we have found somewhere to ride. The final thing to discuss is what we bring to the ride ourselves. How much you enjoy mountain biking depends a lot on your own expectations. If you're just starting out, your goal doesn't need to be riding every feature, setting a fast time, or proving anything to anybody. Your goal is simply to get outside, experience something new, and see whether you enjoy it or not. If you manage that, then you've succeeded. The trail you find might not include incredible scenery, huge descents, or thrilling features. In fact, most local rides probably won't look particularly impressive in a YouTube video. But an ordinary path can still become an adventure if you approach it with the right attitude. You should also know there is more to mountain biking than just riding the bike. The least glamorous parts of a ride rarely make it into YouTube videos. But don't be fooled. It's completely normal to walk up a steep hill, push through an overgrown section, or carry your bike across terrain you just can't cross. It's called hike-a-bike, and it's part of mountain biking, and you just have to get used to it. Don't let it ruin your day. All of this is supposed to be fun after all, and you'll learn that there are many different ways to enjoy it. Some people love improving their skills and gradually tackling bigger features. For others, it's about exploring, spending time in nature, or discovering somewhere new. And some people want the speed and adrenaline of a steep descent. All of these things are valid. You do not need to ride the way somebody else tells you mountain biking should be ridden. Find the part you enjoy, and go do more of that. Before the end of this video, I want to make one thing clear. I'm not a professional mountain biker, which I'm sure you could already tell, and I'm definitely not a mountain bike coach. This video is just full of simple lessons I've picked up after years of riding my bike every chance I could get. They've worked for me, and I hope they make mountain biking, or any kind of off-road riding, feel a little more accessible. If you have a helpful lesson of your own, please leave it in the comments. I'd really love to hear about it. I believe that the more people who ride bikes, the better. I fell in love with cycling because it gets me outdoors, keeps me active, and lets me explore places I might otherwise never see. It's also one of the only things I love that seems to be good for you no matter how much of it you do. It's good for your fitness, and it's good for your mind. I also became addicted to the progression, building new skills and eventually riding features that once looked impossible. I would love for this video to open that same door for someone who has been on the fence about giving this a try. So decide which version of this sport looks fun to you, find somewhere to try it, and give it a shot. Thanks for riding with me today. I'll see you next time.